Good morning and welcome to part 2 of our topless picnic table. I was originally going to use Torx, but this is not a Torque here. This is a square drive here, but when you put these in and then you paint the top, you're going to fill the holes in here, and then if you have to remove the top, you're never going to do it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put these boards, I'm going to lay them on the picnic table and get them lined up. And being that they are not painted on the top yet, I'll be able to draw my lines with a light pencil mark. Now, I've had criticism, and I'm going to tell you right now, I make these videos to explain things for people who maybe are not familiar with doing woodworking, or, you know, it helps them out. What little knowledge I do have, I like to share. But I've gotten some criticism as I talk too much, I repeat myself. You know, I'm sorry. You know, I do read those comments, but if they're not nice, I will not approve them. But I will address them if necessary. So if you don't like certain things that I say or the way I do things, watch other videos. You don't have to watch mine. Okay, I just laid these on. I gotta measure the ends perfectly. I just eyeballed them right now. And there are two reasons why I decided to paint this after I got this on. One is I'm able to draw a pencil line, a thin pencil line here, which I can paint over and not have to worry about scrubbing it off with the paint. And the reason for the pencil line is to get the nails exactly in the center. Each 2x6 will get 3 nails. Because there's a double 2x4 here, one here and one here, there'll be 2 nails here and 1 here. And it'll be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then when I get to the middle, where this partition is, where the support is in the middle, which I originally put back way back in 1985, there'll be, because this is close to the end, you see where that's overhanging a little bit? Well, that's the way I originally built it. So you wouldn't hit your knees into it. There'll be 2 nails here. 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3 here. Generally speaking, when you put down decking or anything like that, or when I built my electronic shop, I used 2x6s on the floors, and each 2x6 got 3 nails in it. A 2x4, you'd want 2 nails in it. On a 2x6, you want 3, 1, 2, and 3. So there'll be 1, 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so on down the line. And the same down here, there'll be 2 here, 1 here, 2 here, 1 here, because there's no point in having 3 here and 3 there. That's a little overkill. So that's one reason why I decided to mark these off on bare wood and then drill holes. You got to pre-drill, or you'll bend the nails over and you could crack the, well, it may not crack the wood, but it's a lot easier to get them in. So I'm going to use number 10 galvanized, and the heads will be flush with the top, and I won't have to worry about filling in the holes like it would be when I drove a screw in. It would kind of go below the surface and then I'd have to fill it in. Bondo is what I used, and that's what I used down here when I screwed this into the new wood that I had here. And you can't even notice anything anymore. It's just like it's all filled in nice. So Bondo dries, sets up quickly. And I know I'm talking a lot, so like I say, I'm trying to explain things to help a lot of you out there who may not be too experienced with this type of work, and what little knowledge I have, I like to share with you. So again, if you don't like my chattering, watch something else. So I got to do some prep work on this. And then I got to get into my Sunday best, because I have my good clothes on right now. But when I start painting and nailing, I want to have my Sunday best on. And you know what my Sunday best is. You've seen me in it on part 1. Okay, for the past half hour off camera here, I've been struggling with this thing. I have these boards cut exactly 72 inches. You know, even the old goat, as many times as this old fart has built things out of wood, it's never perfect, of course, and never claimed to be, but I took all kinds of measurements. And I measure from here to here 5 feet exactly. On this side, I measure from here to here 5 feet exactly. But I've got a problem, and I can't seem to solve it without taking a skill saw and, after these are secured, straighten it out. Now let me show you, and I would like to put you on a tripod, but in order to show you the details, I have to hand hold it, but I'll try to be steady. Almost 6, so let's say 5 3/4, okay? Now let's go down here. We're roughly about 5 1/4 here. On the opposite side, we are almost 6, 5 3/4, and that's my reference board, which all the others followed suit to, and this is perfectly straight here, okay? But come over here. We're almost 7. So we're about 1 inch off. Very perplexing. I really don't know why this is like this. I tried shifting the whole tabletop like this so that I'm almost flush with these braces here, the ends, this side. So, I am almost a perfectionist, but if you look dead on here, you know this end here sticks out 1 inch more than this. And this is 6 foot, and I double checked this. The distance between here and the outside edge of that is exactly 60 inches, 5 feet. The same as this, of course. This should come out even with this, but it doesn't. So for you guys that work on things and say you can't cut a straight line, don't feel bad, because I can't either. But, I mean, it's a picnic table. It's not a, you know, I'm not building a house. If I was, I wouldn't stay in business very long. So the only solution to this that I can come up with is this. Cut 1 inch off on an angle. Drop a line. Take the skill saw and buzz that right off. On the edges where it was laying on the wood, you know, these short cutoffs here, it didn't dry good. And I find this paint, let me show you on the stick over here. This is the paint stirrer stick that I used yesterday. This stuff isn't even set up. That seems to be okay. here. Well, this is sticky yet. So that's the problem with oil-based paint. It doesn't like to set up very good. But we're not using that for a picnic table very often anyhow. But I gotta do the job. I gotta get this done. I just like things to be straight. It bothers me if it isn't perfect, as much as I can get it perfect. Alright, enough of this. Let's get started on nailing this down, which I'm going to use my DeWalt, and I'm going to use number 10 galvanized, and I'm going to use my DeWalt instead of the Harbor Freight because I'm going to have to drill a lot of holes in the decking so that I can put the number 10 through and then bang it down till the nail gets flush with the top, and then I can paint right over it. So I got to draw lines and everything. We'll do that on video and show you how I do it, although I think most of you know that. Alright, well, when you first come in the yard, it's going to be even on this side and off on that side. I've got 5 inches on this side and 7 on the other. But I got 6 on this side and 6 on this. I got 6 inches from this piece to the end. I got 6 inches here, so when you're looking at it, it's even with this to this. It's even with this to this. Okay? On the back, where the picnic table's not going to get rotated, it's going to stay in this position. So, I'm reading 6 3/4. I'm reading 5. Instead of cutting, because this is perfectly straight, there might be a little difference here. I could still cut. Okay, what I'm using is a 5/32 drill bit for the number 10 3-inch nail, common nail, galvanized. Pre-drilling only in the 2x6 and just, you know, not any further than that, not down into the wood underneath. So the first thing I want to do is to get the center where I'm going to be, and for that we're not drawing any lines over here yet. I got this pretty well evened out anyways, but just in case, what we're going to do here is we're getting the center of this, which is right here. Okay, that's the center, and we find the center here, but we just draw a little thin line, very light, because we're going to paint over these. This one is a Craftsman clamp I got at a yard sale last year for $2. Perfecto, she's right in there. Now we'll do this side. See, she just drew it together. I could use screws and that would draw it up, but like I say, I want the surface to be smooth and I don't have to use wood filler. Okay. craftsman. Now you see why I love yard sales. Okay. Oh. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna put the second nail in. I don't know if I can get my clamp in there and get my nail in there. I need to. Nope. Now let's drill that first. Alrighty. Oh, my lower back is bothering me. Too much standing. I want to keep it so when I bang on it, it doesn't come down. Once this is in, I think I'll be okay with, I won't have to clamp it, but I can anyways. I might just keep a clamp in here once I get this nailed when I start nailing these here. I know what I'll do. I got the problem solved. Hang on a minute. Show me the way to go home. Tired and I want to go to bed. Had a little drink about an hour ago. Pushed the wrong lever here, damn it. Oh, don't you hate it when these nails have these little ears on the point? Beautiful. Hitting the wrong lever. Oh. Oh. Okay, now on the center support, that goes in about 1.5 inches. We got the center support is kind of loose. It's on. You've seen it on the other videos, so it's got to be centered. So I'm going to do that afterwards. I can do the center last. All right. Double checking my work here. We're square. Right through. We're even. Right through. I might have to pull it just a tiny bit, because I can feel it in just a little. So what I'm going to do here is this is going to be the standard. I am still 6 inches here and 5 inches here. At that end I'm almost 7 with 6 inches here. So I can trim that end or I could leave it. It's pretty much even like this. But I think we're going to stop parting around here. We are going to, this is going to be the standard. This is perfectly flush right here. We are 6 inches here, but we're 5 3/4 here. But we're even here. What can I say? So, this is our standard line here. This is the marked line at this end. We're still centered with the piece. But if you look at that line, you may not see it here, we are off. But I don't understand it because it's 5 feet from here to here and 5 feet from there to there, but somehow we're off. So if I was to cut that, it would look bad. Because this is straight. But the nails, in the center of this piece, inside of the ruler, and center here. There's a difference. If you go on the line, which we're on the center of the 2x4 underneath, if you go on the line, we're 7 inches here, and we're 5 3/4 here. That's on the center. That's what a line is. 7 here, 5 1/2 here. But you're not going to see these nails too well once it's painted. So unless you take a ruler and when you're sitting at the picnic table having something to eat and you measure, let's see how the old goat made this now, let's see. His nail was, and here, you know, I don't think so. Let's just get the nailing. I'll come back in a little bit here. So I can get you a little closer here. I don't want to put you right on the platform because when I'm banging it'll vibrate the camera. I bought this long Harbor Freight clamp here that holds everything together. And I only had one of those Sears clamps. Otherwise I would have bought another one, but he only had the one. So now we're going to put in 2 nails in here. No, we're going to go 3 nails in there. 3. No, 3. Size. Yeah, I want to keep a clamp on that because when I hammer down, I could still pull it away from the wood on the bottom. got one nail in this here at the other end. Put the other two in on this side. We're doing one board at a time because we still got to pull these over. I don't have another long clamp to pull it over. So only got the one long one here. So we're going to have to kind of go back and forth. Now we got these two secured. So we've got this pulled over. So we're only going to put one nail in here, because if you put two or three in here, you're not going to be able to move that other end without putting a strain on it and maybe cracking the wood. So you want to put one on it, be like a hinge pin, because this side over here is not pulled in as tight as this is. Let's get the straight edge to continue here. Now that we're secured down, pain in the ass to move this clamp all the time, but we'll do that off camera. We got to move the Harbor Freight clamp onto the other side. We'll be back in a minute here. Laying all flat against the 2x4s. Good over here. Now we've got two more, so we got to move this clamp on the other side. We'll do that. So we're on board number 5. side again. The old goat keeps leaving it on the other side. Got number 5 nailed on one nail on that side. And we'll bring number 5 in. Send number 5 to come over more. Maybe if I get the clamp over here at the end, more leverage. Got that nailed, so we can nail all 3 here. 1 in this end. And 3 in this end. Got the clamp here for the end one, so we put 1 nail here because we have to pull that in. We have to move the clamp over, but it'll be the last time I can take this clamp out of the picture. Once I pull that end in, so we're good to go here. And the nails and the clamp over to here, and we clamp number 6 in place. Lousy Harbor Freight things keep coming off the end. I sew them out when they fall off. Just gonna hold it down. Alright, what we got to do here, we almost forgot, we got to bring this clamp off to the other side here. Oh, my back is killing me. We got to bring this clamp over. That's not going to do any good for that one. She's drawn up in there good anyways. The clamp is just to keep it, in case the 2x4 goes down like it did in the beginning here. But I think it's alright. I'm sitting down on the job, guys. to clamp it because the nail isn't going to hold it. All the way down. Now it is. Okay. Let's clamp it again. We can get our nails in here without the board dropping down. Bring that clamp over here. There's a little take you over to the other side here. Now, we got two nails here because of the taper of the end pieces, you know, the 2x4s. We have one nail here. We have 3 and 1, 3 and 1, 3 and 1. We're gonna add, we gotta put some nails in here. This is already nailed in on one, but we got 2 more nails to go in. We're gonna do that with the clamp. We'll do that off camera. Now, if you look at that, that's not, you know, not straight, but when the paint is on it, you probably won't notice it. And this side here is perfectly flush. Okay, so we'll finish nailing this off camera. Then I got to work on the centerpiece. All right, well, probably an hour and a half, 2 hours later, we got it all nailed down, and it's pretty smooth. I mean, as best I can do. It seems to be a little, they're not laying level, but it could be that the board's warped. I don't know, but the best I can do. Now, I'm not going to put the wood plane on this, electric planer, because I'll ruin the blades with the nail heads here, because they're just flush with the top of the board, which is the way I wanted it. But I think what I can do is run the belt sander on this just to hit this quick and try to get this maybe a little bit more level. Well, that concludes the topless picnic table. I'm not very happy with this paint at all. It's oil-based, of course. It will protect the wood, but after 24 hours, I can take it and scrape it right off of my fingernail. It stays soft. It seems to be dry. It's not tacky anymore. Now, maybe because it's very, very thick, I don't know. I already thinned it out a little bit, but not very much. It goes on real heavy. And I used a half a can, a half a quart. I think that's a quart can. To do this whole thing here, so that wasn't bad. But I'm not happy with this paint at all. But I needed to have something that would protect the wood, so I had to get something like this. I don't think Behr paint is all that good. It's not like the old paints years ago. When you put oil base on years ago, the next day it was dry and you couldn't scrape it off unless you used a scraper. So that concludes this video, and you can't really notice the nails, whether they're inline or not. unless you really study it. So it looks good, but I don't know how many weeks this is going to take before it really hardens up. But I can literally scrape it off the railing on my deck near the air conditioner. I did that little section there. I grind it down with the scraper and the belt sander, and I put that on yesterday, and that's 24 hours ago, and I could take my fingernail. It's dry to the touch, but I could take my fingernail and scrape it right off like nothing. So anyways, that's it. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this project. We'll catch you on a video real soon. Take care, everybody.